There is a quiet wisdom that flows through the heart of Javanese life, a rhythm that does not rush, a way of living that does not chase. It is whispered in the phrase alon alon waton klakon, which means slowly, as long as it gets done. At first glance, it sounds simple, almost passive. Yet behind those few words lies a deep philosophy, a way of seeing life not as a race to the finish, but as a journey that unfolds in its own sacred time. In Javanese thought, time is not an enemy to conquer, but a companion to walk with. The elders say, "Sabr iku luhur, nrimo iku mulyo." Patience is noble, acceptance is sacred. These are not words of surrender, but of harmony. They teach us that life moves in cycles, that what is meant to happen will find its way to us, and that rushing only leads to exhaustion, not fulfillment. Modern life often moves too fast. Everyone wants to arrive, to achieve, to be seen. Yet somewhere along the way, we forget how to be present. We forget that growth, like rice in the fields, requires seasons of quiet waiting. The Javanese have always understood this, that the essence of wisdom is not in how quickly we move, but in how deeply we understand where we stand. Alon alon waton klakon is not laziness, nor is it an excuse to delay. It is the art of moving in harmony with time. It is to recognize that the world has its own tempo, that there are moments to act and moments to wait, moments to speak and moments to listen, moments to rise and moments to bow. Those who live by this rhythm do not fear being left behind, for they know that everything unfolds sangkan paraning dumadi, according to the origin and destiny of all existence. There is beauty in such slowness, a beauty that modern minds often overlook. The sound of a bamboo wind chime swaying gently in the afternoon breeze. The patient hands of a craftsman shaping wood without haste. The farmer who waits for the rain, trusting the sky without complaint. These are not mere images of stillness, they are expressions of balance. They show that true strength often hides behind gentleness, and true progress is often born from stillness. To live slowly does not mean to live without dreams. It means to trust that your dreams will find their way to you if you walk towards them with sincerity and care. As the Javanese often say, urip iku sawang sinawang. Life is about how you see it. Some see slowness as weakness, others as grace. For those who understand, every breath is a lesson in patience, and every pause is a step towards clarity. This philosophy invites us to listen to the quiet voice within, to the rhythm of nature, to the silent music of the heart. Because wisdom does not always come from effort. Sometimes it comes from stillness. The Javanese soul understands that to move too fast is to lose your own shadow, and to rush too much is to forget where you began. So let this journey begin not with haste, but with awareness. Let us walk through the rhythm of time, slowly, gracefully, meaningfully. Let us learn from the silence between each step, from the stillness between each breath. Because in the end, alon alon waton klakon is not just a proverb, it is a way of being. It reminds us that the most beautiful things in life are not rushed. They simply happen in their own time, in their own way, in their own quiet perfection.
Chapter 1. The Rhythm of Time, when patience becomes a way of seeing. The gentle victory of Alan Alan Watan Kalakan. There comes a time when the rush of the world no longer stirs you, when you no longer measure your worth by how quickly you arrive, nor your success by how loud your steps sound. It is then that you begin to understand that life is not a race, but a rhythm, not a competition, but a conversation between your soul and time. The Javanese saying, Alon Alon Watan Kelakan, whispers this truth like an ancient lullaby. Go slowly, as long as you reach, for there is a kind of wisdom that grows only in stillness, and there is a kind of strength that blooms only when you stop fighting time. In the hush between actions, in the pause between breaths, you realize that progress was never about speed, but about harmony, about moving in tune with something larger than yourself. You begin to notice the unseen choreography of existence, the rice fields that sway, not to impress, but to follow the rhythm of the wind, the river that never hurries, yet always arrives at the sea, the mountain that stands unmoved, not because it resists time, but because it belongs to it. To live slowly, in the truest sense, is not to retreat from life, but to live it with awareness. It is to walk with both feet touching the earth, to breathe without racing against the air, to see without the hunger to possess. In this slowness, you are no longer chasing moments. You are inhabiting them. You are no longer running from silence. You are listening to it. And perhaps that is the secret the old ones knew, that what truly matters cannot be rushed. Healing, love, wisdom, peace, they all bloom in their own quiet seasons.
When you honor your own rhythm, you begin to see that the universe too moves slowly. Stars are born over centuries. Mountains rise through still patience. Even the dawn does not burst forth, it unfolds. So let this philosophy not only guide your pace, but soften your heart. Let it teach you that patience is not passivity, it is grace in motion. That waiting is not weakness, it is a form of faith. For everything that is meant for you is already on its way, moving through time with its own divine rhythm. And no storm, no detour can take away what the universe has written for you. Alon alon waton kalakon, slowly as long as it's done. In that simple phrase lives a quiet revolution, a call to resist the noise of urgency, to return to the sacred pace of being human. Walk gently, speak softly, trust the unseen hands of time, because the road you're on doesn't need to be rushed, it only needs to be walked with faith. And when you finally arrive, not sooner, not later, you will realize that you never really missed anything. You were always exactly where you were meant to be, carried by the calm, unhurried grace of Alon Alon Waton Kilakon. Chapter 2. Slow doesn't mean still. Calm doesn't mean unmoving. The world often misunderstands silence. It assumes that when someone moves slowly, they have stopped. That when someone is calm, they have surrendered. But the Javanese way teaches otherwise. Menung or tegese mandeg. Being quiet does not mean standing still. True stillness is not the absence of movement, but the presence of awareness. To live slowly is not to live passively. It is to move with purpose, to act in rhythm with life rather than against it. The elders say, "Sing sapa sabar, bakal tinamu padange urip." Whoever is patient will find the light of life. This patience is not waiting without action. It is acting without haste. It is the strength that arises from clarity, not from control. It is the art of moving with the flow of time.
instead of forcing it to bend to our will. If you observe a bamboo tree swaying in the wind, you will see this truth. The bamboo bends but never breaks. It moves with the wind, not against it. Its strength lies in its flexibility, its grace in its surrender. That is how the Javanese understand calmness, as resilience in motion. A calm person is not without storms, but they have learned to let the storms pass through them without being destroyed. In our fast world, people equate movement with progress. They run, they chase, they hurry, fearing that if they stop, life will leave them behind. Yet the Javanese soul knows you can run fast and still go nowhere. You can be busy and still be lost, because movement without direction is chaos, and calmness without awareness is only sleep. The true wisdom lies in finding the middle, madhya, the sacred balance between movement and stillness. There is a quiet power in those who move slowly but surely. Like water carving its way through stone, their persistence shapes the world without noise. The Javanese believe that alon-alon is not about delay, it is about endurance. It is about staying faithful to the path even when results do not come quickly. It is about trusting that every small step, when done with sincerity, carries the weight of destiny. To be calm is to see clearly, and to see clearly is to move wisely. The one who rushes often acts from fear of missing out, fear of being forgotten. But the one who moves calmly acts from faith that the universe is not late, that life unfolds in divine timing. In Javanese spirituality, this is called manemba marang kahanan, the act of surrendering to what is, not as defeat, but as devotion. It is the understanding that our role is not to control time, but to walk within its sacred rhythm. The rice farmer does not command the rain. The craftsman does not rush his carving. The dancer does not skip a beat to reach the end of the song. Each knows that beauty is born in timing. To hurry is to break the harmony. To slow down is to stay in tune. Pelan ora ateges mandeg. To move slowly does not mean to stop. It means to move consciously, to walk with the rhythm of life rather than stumble through it. Calmness, too, has been misunderstood. Many think that to be calm is to be unfeeling, detached, or indifferent. But true calmness in the Javanese heart is born from depth, from understanding that emotions are waves, not the ocean itself. You may feel anger, sorrow, or fear, but beneath them flows something steadier, a soul that knows. Calmness is not the absence of emotion, but the awareness that emotion will pass.
This awareness gives birth to compassion. The Javanese call it tepa sliro, the ability to feel what others feel, to move gently in the world. Those who are calm do not react quickly. They respond slowly, with thought and care. They understand that every word has weight and every silence has meaning. They know that peace is not something to be found outside, but something cultivated inside. To be calm is also to be grounded, ailing lan waspodo, as the ancestor said. Be mindful and aware. Calmness is not complacency, it is clarity. It is the quiet strength that comes from knowing who you are and where you stand. When one walks through life with such calmness, storms may come, but they no longer shake the roots. There is a saying, Wongsing tanong iku ora gampang ambruk. A calm person does not fall easily, because calmness is like a tree with deep roots. Its branches may sway, but it will not be uprooted. This is what the Javanese mean by ngalmu ulip, the wisdom of living.
to cultivate steadiness within so that no matter how the world moves outside, you remain whole. The modern world celebrates noise, loud voices, fast success, instant results. But in the silence between those moments lies something more powerful: grace. The Javanese have always understood that grace is not dramatic. It is subtle, humble, almost invisible. It grows quietly, like moss on stone, like patience in a wise heart. So, when life feels slow, when progress seems hidden, remember, slowness is not a sign of failure. It is a space for reflection. Calmness is not stagnation, it is preparation. Every delay may carry a lesson, every pause may hide a blessing. The Javanese soul walks with trust, whispering softly, Sabar iku sara gampang, nanging bakal dadi papadhang. Patience is not easy, but it will become light. Sometimes the greatest movements in life happen in silence. The heart heals quietly. The soul grows unseen. The seed transforms beneath the soil long before it blooms. That is the truth of Alon Alon Watan Kalokon. Progress does not always announce itself, it happens within. The calm heart may seem still, but within it, entire worlds are shifting towards wisdom. So do not mistake calmness for weakness, nor slowness for idleness. A calm river still flows, a slow flame still burns, and a quiet soul still moves towards its destiny, gently, steadily, faithfully. This is the way of the Javanese, to walk softly but leave deep footprints, to move slowly but arrive meaningfully, to stay calm yet never stop becoming. Because in the end, slow doesn't mean still and calm doesn't mean unmoving. It means to live with rhythm, to breathe with time, and to trust that the universe, like a great gamelan, plays its song perfectly as long as we are willing to listen.
Chapter 3: The Rhythm of Time and the Virtue of Patience, when everything grows in silence. There is a kind of wisdom that cannot be taught by words, only by time. It unfolds quietly, like the soft light of dawn that doesn't rush to appear, yet never fails to arrive. In the Javanese soul, this wisdom is known through sabar lan nrimo, patience and acceptance, two virtues that are often misunderstood by those who measure life by speed. To be patient is not to do nothing. It is to trust the unseen rhythm of becoming. It is to understand that everything, love, healing, peace, understanding, grows in its own season. Just as the rice must bow before it ripens, every soul must learn humility before it matures. The elders used to say, Wektu iku guru sejati. Time is the truest teacher. And indeed, it teaches in ways that no book can. Time softens what was once rigid. It reveals truth through waiting. It brings growth through stillness. In the Javanese way, waiting is not a burden, but a form of worship. It is a sacred silence where the soul listens not to the noise of desire, but to the gentle instructions of the universe. When life feels stagnant, when nothing seems to move, the impatient heart panics. It believes the world has forgotten it. But the wise heart knows what seems like stillness is often the womb of transformation. Like seeds buried in the soil, much of life's progress happens out of sight. The earth must stay dark for a while before it gives birth to green. The same is true of us. We must learn to rest in the unseen, to trust the quiet process that shapes us. Patience is not passive endurance. It is active faith.
It is a way of aligning ourselves with the rhythm of time instead of fighting against it. Alon-alon, waton kelakon, teaches that the universe doesn't reward haste, it rewards harmony. It asks us to walk in step with the divine tempo, not one beat faster, not one beat slower. In Javanese philosophy, patience is not a waiting room, it is a path. Each step taken with patience refines the soul. Each pause teaches surrender. In Sabar, one learns to soften the heart. In Nrimo, one learns to open it. Together, they create a peace that no success or failure can disturb. To live patiently is to see beyond appearances. The impatient mind asks, when? But the patient heart asks, what am I learning here? The impatient seeks endings. The patient honors beginnings. The impatient wants to arrive. The patient learns to belong. In the quiet villages of Java, you can see this philosophy alive in daily gestures. The grandmother weaving batik, each dot, each line made with devotion and without hurry. The farmer walking barefoot to his field at dawn, knowing that no matter how early he arises, the sun will not rush for him. The shadow puppet master, dolling, moving the figures slowly beneath the light, understanding that meaning lives in the pause between the gestures. They are all practicing the same truth, that beauty, harmony, and depth come from time embraced, not time conquered. Patience also teaches humility, the awareness that not everything depends on us. Manungsa mung sak derma lakwani, the Javanese say. A person only plays their role. We do what we can. The rest belongs to fate, or takdir. To be patient is to accept that we are not the masters of outcomes, only the caretakers of effort.
And yet, this humility is not weakness, it is freedom. The impatient soul is bound by fear, fear of failure, fear of delay, fear of being unseen. But the patient soul is free because it trusts that what is truly meant will never pass it by. That is the calm certainty of someone who has learned to walk in harmony with time. Silence, too, is part of this virtue. Menung iku wumas. Silence is gold, not because it avoids conflict, but because it allows wisdom to arise. In the quiet, you begin to hear what the noise has hidden. The rhythm of your breath, the whisper of your intuition, the pulse of the divine within you. To be patient is to honor this silence, to let it speak before you do. When the world tells you to hurry, the Javanese heart whispers otherwise. Sabar kui orang ngenteni, nanging raos ke saben wayahe urip. Patience is not merely waiting, it is feeling every moment of life. To walk through time patiently is to walk through life consciously. You begin to notice small miracles, how the wind cools your skin, how the rain softens the soil, how the heart heals itself without command. You begin to realize that the rhythm of time is not your enemy, it is your ally, teaching you to flow, to breathe, to become. And when patience ripens, it turns into peace. No longer do you chase, no longer do you demand. You begin to move from a place of quiet strength because you understand that life is not a contest to win, but a journey to understand. You stop measuring yourself by how fast you move and start valuing how deeply you live. Even the universe, vast and eternal, does not rush. Stars are born in silence. Rivers carve valleys over centuries. The moon waxes and wanes, never in haste, always on time. Everything moves, yet nothing hurries. Everything changes, yet nothing loses its grace. So too should we. To be patient is to dance with time, not to struggle against it. To trust that every delay has meaning, that every silence carries instruction, and that every waiting season is preparing something within us. The virtue of patience is not in how long we wait, but in how we wait, with faith, with awareness, with gratitude. Because even in stillness, the soul is growing. Even in silence, life is speaking. The Javanese say, "Sabariku ngelmu sing ora ano anteke." Patience is a wisdom with no end. It is not something you master once. It is something you practice for a lifetime. It deepens as you age, as you lose, as you love, as you let go. And when you have walked long enough with patience, you no longer ask when or why. You simply bow to time itself. Wektu sing linangung wichaksono, time that is wiser than all human plans, and whisper with a peaceful heart, Alon alon waton klakon. Slowly but surely, everything finds its way. Because what grows in silence lasts the longest, and what is nurtured in patience, no storm can destroy.
The gentle victory of Alon Alon Waton Kelakan. There comes a time when the rush of the world no longer stirs you, when you no longer measure your worth by how quickly you arrive, nor your success by how loud your steps sound. It is then that you begin to understand that life is not a race, but a rhythm, not a competition, but a conversation between your soul and time. The Javanese saying, Alon Alon Watan Kelakan, whispers this truth like an ancient lullaby. Go slowly, as long as you reach, for there is a kind of wisdom that grows only in stillness, and there is a kind of strength that blooms only when you stop fighting time. In the hush between actions, in the pause between breaths, you realize that progress was never about speed, but about harmony, about moving in tune with something larger than yourself. You begin to notice the unseen choreography of existence, the rice fields that sway not to impress, but to follow the rhythm of the wind, the river that never hurries, yet always arrives at the sea, the mountain that stands unmoved, not because it resists time, but because it belongs to it. To live slowly, in the truest sense, is not to retreat from life, but to live it with awareness. It is to walk with both feet touching the earth, to breathe without racing against the air, to see without the hunger to possess. In this slowness, you are no longer chasing moments. You are inhabiting them. You are no longer running from silence. You are listening to it. And perhaps that is the secret the old ones knew, that what truly matters cannot be rushed. Healing, love, wisdom, peace, they all bloom in their own quiet seasons.
When you honor your own rhythm, you begin to see that the universe too moves slowly. Stars are born over centuries. Mountains rise through still patience. Even the dawn does not burst forth, it unfolds. So let this philosophy not only guide your pace, but soften your heart. Let it teach you that patience is not passivity, it is grace in motion. That waiting is not weakness, it is a form of faith. For everything that is meant for you is already on its way, moving through time with its own divine rhythm.
And no storm, no detour can take away what the universe has written for you. Alon alon waton kalakon. Slowly, as long as it's done. In that simple phrase lives a quiet revolution, a call to resist the noise of urgency, to return to the sacred pace of being human. Walk gently, speak softly, trust the unseen hands of time, because the road you're on doesn't need to be rushed, it only needs to be walked with faith. And when you finally arrive, not sooner, not later, you will realize that you never really missed anything. You were always exactly where you were meant to be, carried by the calm, unhurried grace of Alon Alon Waton Kilakon.